on ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video here at ScrubGames, and today we have another episode of our previously in DBSCG series, where we go to week's news in one video at the end of the week, so you can go in and get all your information from the week in one video rather than have to go day by day. And for this week, we're covering more information about the Fusion World Set 1, being Awakened Pulse. The first set, given a bit of spoilers, and we finally get a look at the leaders of each colour in the set. In the set, there's 8 different leaders, and we finally get a look at what they do, so we kind of get a better understanding when the cards come out, how they playtest, kind of what to expect and what each colour is basically representing. So let's have a look at the video. Before we get into these spoilers and have a look at the new cards from this week, feel free to help support the channel by either giving the video a like to let you know that you enjoy the series and enjoy the news as it comes. Also, you can give some comments down in the section down below if you disagree with the opinions or agree or have a different view or anything you want to see on the channel. Feel free to go to the comment section below and put that down. And also, you can help it by doing the best thing is subscribing, which keeps you updated with my videos when they drop. Because we want to wait till 1,000 subs, hoping to get there by the end of the year, and you can do that by helping if you're not already subscribed. Also, you can click the notification bell to get alerts when my videos do drop, so that way you're aware of when they come out, and if to watch them straight away, or so that they're available to watch when you're ready. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and have a look at what we've got today, or this week, for spoilers. So, starting off, we're going card order like I always do. Start with the red leader, and lo and behold, one of the first leaders is a never red Goku. So we've seen that with the star decks, we had a red Goku, a blue Vegeta, a green Broly, and a yellow Frieza. Kind of reminiscent of their colours in the Masters version of the game. But in the Fusion World, not only do we get a star deck Goku, we also get a main set Goku. While the star deck Goku is probably the worst of the star decks, not because it's bad, but because the other ones do a lot like better things for their effects when they're awakened and stuff like that. And this we get a new Goku leader, but it's a better Goku leader. It's not just because it goes further than Super Saiyan into Super Saiyan Blue. It has a better skill, and a lot of people, when I've seen it, where I see it being revealed, people talking about it, they always compare it to Zoro in the One Piece card game. Because imagine a lot of people coming into this game are coming from either One Piece, where it's quite or similar in terms of simplicity for the game, and kind of similar, almost similar playstyle, and then people from Masters that love like Dragon Ball want to keep playing the Dragon Ball games. So first one for red we got is a Goku. So once again, like we got side decks, most of the front sides are quite basic, and some of them have a little bit different. So we'll get into a bit more detail when we get to ones that are a bit different than what we already seen. But ones that we've already seen, like this one, we'll get just basically cover it straight away. So on the front side, you're basically just a 15k, just like with starter deck. It's exactly the same skills and stats as starter deck one. You're just a Goku, but I can't remember if the other one, the starter deck one had Universe 7, but this one has Universe 7. And it's 15k on the front side. When attacking, draw a card. And Awaken is 4 less life, draw 1, flip over. Basically, it's the same as the starter deck one. But now when you flip over on this one, you become a little bit different, a little bit better as well. And it's still the same stats. You still Goku, like in your 20k power, same thing. You still have the when attacking, draw 1 card, but now you've got a different skill than what the other one. With the other one, it was activate battle. You could choose one of your battle cards and get 5k power for the battle during your player's turn. So during your opponent's turn, make your cards a little bit bulkier, help defend them a little bit. And on your turn, make them a bit more aggressive, give them a bit more power. But only one battle card per turn can get a boost. But on this one, it comes with a permanent, which is during your turn, all your battle cards with Universe 7 in their character special traits gets 5k power for them. Just during your turn, so it's a lot better in the side deck one, because not only do you give, it's not like it's during your turn, you don't give just one battle card a 5k boost, you give all your battle cards that are Universe 7 a boost, so you're going to be filling your deck up with Universe 7 cards, so that way when they come out to get a boost, that makes like any of your normally when you got skillless, you've got say you play a 2-cost skillless, normally a 2-cost skillless is 20k, when you play Universe 7 one, it's 25k, the same power as 3-cost skillless, the same 3-cost skillless and the same power as 4-cost, things like that. Just means that all your board just gets extra bit power, meaning they can hit harder, but then the only downside is that you don't get your opponent's turn, it's just during your turn, so during your turn, all your things are a little bit bigger, but defensively they're the same as they would as printed. They don't get a boost defensively. It's pretty decent, but this is really nice, meaning that you can put a little bit more aggro, a bit more pressure on. Except 5k is quite a big difference. It's not a huge difference compared to One Piece with Zora, because in that one it's 5k increments, extra 1k increment. Where in this game you've got 5k and 10k combos, so giving a 5k boost to 20k, when you're 20k in, make it 20k until 25k. A simple 10k combo outcomes if that's could be one card, whereas like in like compared to Masters, 5k difference could make a difference between comboing two 5ks or wasting a super combo. In this game, it's not as bad as it's not as like amazing as it would be like making your opponent waste resources compared to Masters or One Piece. Still a very good one, a lot better than Star Deck one, and a good one to go for as a basic one. I imagine like people will get the red Star Deck if they like Goku, but then replace that leader with this leader, which should be easy enough. So not too bad for a first leader, and then we go to the other one, and the other one is Beerus. So we already saw a bit of spoilers regarding some Universe 6 stuff that we saw the Khalifa. So there was speculation that maybe one of the red leaders is going to be a Universe 6. It makes sense if you got Universe 6 stuff, then you've got a Universe 6 leader. Sadly, that's not the case. Instead, we got a Goku as one lead and a Beerus Universe 7 leader as the other one. So this is where it starts to get a little bit different. So as you can see from the front side, it's already a little bit different. Like got your Beerus, your 15k, same stats as the Stardex on the front side, got the structure Universe 7, but your skills are a little bit different. You still got the same awakenings as the other ones, so it's the exact same thing when you fight lives 4 less, draw a card flip over, but you got different skills. You don't have a one attack and draw one like the other ones do. Instead, your leader has critical, meaning that if you inflict damage to your opponent from a if you inflict damage to your opponent with this attack, their life's placed in the drop instead of going to their hand. So you're denying your opponent resources, which is nice, and to make it a little bit better, like did look at this and thought it wasn't great because usually when like if you ever played Masters, seen with that first set, any cards like when you have a leader that doesn't draw, it's generally not as great. There are exceptions, like we're not like there are some certain exceptions where it's not too bad if you don't draw. You still got some ways to gain advantage or set up things, but in like generally in first set of Masters, if you didn't draw, your leader wasn't as great. But in this case, like nice thing is if you don't like this is a lot better than I thought it'd be. Like when I first started, I thought the critical's not going to be these aren't going to be great. You're not drawing cards, you're not really gaining anything. You just denying your opponent resources, so making them combo, or just making it take life, but then they're not getting it to hand while they're still like drawing cards. But the fun thing with this is as long as you don't play anything out for your opponent to attack into, then if they want to get the draw, you have to swing it to your leader, which means they're giving you cards, but you deny them cards. So while you're not drawing, because you're just be attack, not drawing, but then forcing them to either take the damage and lose a life to the drop, or combo out, which is still losing a card, but not getting any closer to awakening, which is the nice thing about this. And one thing to make it more beneficial is that it's not just swinging a 8 crit where you can just go 5 hit pick and crit combo off. You gain 5k, you got permanent where during your turn you get 5k power, so you're swinging 20k crit on the unawakened side. So even if they're awakened, even if they awaken early, thinking I'm safe now, I'm at 20k or 15k, you still go up to 20k on their lead, meaning that unless like Broly, which is 25, you're still swinging at them, and then they still got a combo off or lose that life to the drop. So this is a lot better. I did argue with my teammate Andre. Well, not argue, but I kind of say I don't think this is as great as before, where he's like, this is broken. I won't say it's broken, but it's still very good. It just means that while you're not drawing anything, like your opponent, you don't have like you're just drawing one for a turn, charging a card and then swinging and not getting anything. Your opponent's not really getting anything either because you're swinging at them with crit, get 20k crit. They have to either combo a 10k or lose a life, so then they're getting close to the awakening, but they're not gaining any cards. And as long as you don't play anything out, they're forced to attack you to draw a card and give you cards while you're denying them resources. So they're awakening you and giving you cards from your life where you're not getting anything attacking them, but then denying them resources, either taking out their hand or denying them from the life. So it's a lot better than I thought it'd be for these leaders. Like, while they don't gain you advantage, you're still denying your opponent's resources and making them use up resources they wouldn't want to. But then when you awaken it, you lose that. So once you awaken, you then lose the critical and the permanent boost. Now you gain the same as most leaders, well, almost all leaders, which is when attack you draw one. So you now get to start gaining advantage, but you're not like so negative. Like you're not negging as much as in Masters first set with these leaders, which is quite decent. And you got a pretty nice activating main as well. So anytime any leader awakens, they've got normally one attack and draw one, apart from the Broly's, of course. But then they also gain a skill that's like exclusive to them. And in Beerus' case, it's an activate main where once per turn you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards and give it minus 10k power for the turn. Now, that hits so many little things, like little 1-drops that come down to gain advantage, like cantrips, like 1-drop blockers that most decks has, only like yellow really has bigger blockers than that you can just minus things off. And even then, it makes attacking into clearing your opponent's board a lot easier, where if they got like a 20k, you negate the 10, swing into it is now a 20k swinging into a 10k, meaning you have to do a 10k and another 5k to at least combo out, or use resources to combo out to keep it, and it's just 10k power for the turn, so that way if they survive that attack, you play something else to get it. It just makes it a lot easier to control your opponent's board, because then you don't have to swing so hard over things. You can just reduce them down to your level or a lot lower, or potentially kill them and not worry about them. So Beerus looks to be quite nicely. So far, the leaders look pretty good. It seems like all of them are really playable, just depending on what more cards come out. But so far, they're all pretty decent leaders. So those are the two red ones. Really nice. So it's good start off so far. And then we go on to the blue ones. So for the blue, one of them we got is, so this is the Future Trunks saga from the Super. So first one we got is Goku Black, going from just Goku Black on the front side being the same. He no longer has the God trait like in Masters. In Masters, Goku Black had the God trait because technically a God from Zamasu. He's technically Zamasu in Goku's body, being that he's technically a God. But for the Fusion world, they don't have the God trait. It's just Saiyan, and on the Awakened side, Saiyan again. So Goku Black to Goku Black, and exact same thing as Beerus for the front side. 15k has critical. During your turn, you gain a 5k boost from the permanent, and when you sorry, when you awaken, you draw one and flip over when you have 4 less life. So exactly same as Beerus, like better than I originally thought, and denying your opponent not gaining you any resources, but then denying your opponent resources, meaning they have to be careful, like they're wasting resources trying to not take the critical damage, and then so they're gaining cards, but then they're using them to not take critical damage, while you still, as long as you didn't play anything, you're still swinging into them to awaken them and give them cards. And then when you're awakening, so just like with any leader, you're basically now 20k. You got when attacking, draw 1 card to gain an advantage in that aspect. But now your special skill for the Goku Black one is an activate main where once per turn you can place 1 Zamasu from your battle area at the bottom of your deck, which we've only seen 1 so far. There could be more. We've only seen 1 so far, which is a Zamasu 1-drop skillless. So 1 energy to play out Zamasu, and then use the cost for this. So place 1 Zamasu from your battle area at the bottom of your deck, and then the effect is during this turn, the next time you use and play a Goku Black from your hand, you reduce the cost by 2. So first time we're seeing cost reduction, and it's not as bad as in Masters, where like you can get things that's 8 costs coming out for 1 energy and stuff like that. It's just you're sacking off a basically specific kind of card, being a massive card from your battle area to the bottom of your deck. So you still got to play the card out to then get that as the cost, to then bottom deck it for the cost, to then reduce the cost of a Goku Black, meaning that you can play a big Goku Black for a lot less, which is quite nice. So like not too bad of a skill, nice balance, but then there's only specific cards, so it's only you need to have Zamasu down as the pay the cost for the card, and it's only affects on it only reduces the cost of by 2 for Goku Black cards, not for any card, which is quite nice. So that's not too bad. It's pretty cool. Nice one. I'm not too big a fan. Like depending on how many like Zamasus and Goku Blacks we could get in the set, which we haven't seen much of the set so far. It could be better, but so far this doesn't seem as great for the Awakened side. Like remember, it's like the front sides are quite similar across all the cards, but the Awakened side, that's when it differs a little bit. And so far compared to the other two, not too great when it awakens. But that's just my opinion. You might have a different one if you have a different one and have a reason why. Give a comment, put the comment in below, and let me know your reasons. Then we go on to the other blue leader, and that is Trunks. So of course, Future Trunks Saga, Goku Black, his opponent, Future Trunks. And he's got the standard same thing as the leaders from the starter deck, so just 15k, 1 attack and draw 1. When you like 4 less life, draw 1 flip over. Pretty basic, say an Earthling and blue leader. And then on your Awakened side, now you're 20k, 1 attacking, draw 1. And now his unique skill for Trunks is activate main once per turn. Choose up to 1 battle card with an entry cost of 3 or less and return to his owner's hand. Now that is really, really good. Now, for the main reason that remember, you have to pay a 3 or less card, you've got to pay the energy. So if your opponent plays a 3 cost, they're paying 3 energy and then play it out. So that's 3 energy to play that card out. If you put that card back to the hand, they've got to then next turn pay 3 energy again to play that card out. And if it doesn't have an on-play effect, then you just basically have to play it out and then be able to do things with it. But so being able to set your opponent back a whole turn's play, like remember, think about it, like a turn 3, they pay 3 energy to play out a free drop. You put it back into hand on your turn with this effect. They've basically, you just set them back, so like their third turn has been reset, back to hand. So they have to be careful about when they're playing things out. Because remember, there's no really cheating outside the Goku Black effect, reduce the cost. There's no real cheating, so you have to pay the actual cost of the card to play out cards in this game. So paying a free cost and have it bounce back to your hand, and then still be usable like a combo in your hand, but you have to re-put the energy into play it back out on the board is very, very annoying. And the thing is, it doesn't state if it doesn't specifically state your opponent's battle cards. Just says it choose up to one battle card, so you can reduce your bounce back your own battle cards as well. Meaning that you can play out your cantrip, draw a card, bounce it back to your hand, play it back out again, draw a card again, keep bouncing back your cantrips, keep drawing for your deck, drawing loads. And if you like, especially if you got like energy spare, you don't really need your energy, or you just don't need to worry about too much about playing much. You can keep bouncing back your cantrips to fix it out, or making use of your cards, play them out, get on pair effects, and bounce back to your hand so you can do it again. Really nice effect, and I reckon this could be quite abusable. So this is one of the leaders I think is pretty good for the next set. Like Goku, like the Red Goku's pretty good, giving a blanket boost of 5k to your unit for 7 cards, and Beerus being quite good as well, having like that easy help with board removal, because it seems like in this game, board management is a key aspect. Like controlling the board and managing the board is what separates the good leaders from the bad leaders. And so far, out of these 4 we've seen, like I'm impressed with all of them except for Goku Black so far. But that's it. That could change depending on what some massive Goku Black cards we get from the sets. We haven't seen much yet. From a lead standpoint, this one feels to be really good. If I was playing blue, it's a tough pick between this and Vegeta. Vegeta's still really good, but this one is quite nice as well. So on with that, we go on to the green leads, and first one we've got is the Android lead. So for green, it seems to be 6. We don't have unlike the Masters game, we don't have the error, like we don't have the saga, so we don't have like a little trait set basically explaining what saga the cards come from. So like the Android saga, Frieza saga, blah blah blah. You don't have that on these cards, which is kind of takes away a bit. But then they were not. It wasn't really a relevant trait on the cards. It's just there's never ever a card that searches for a certain saga. So it was something from Masters that was there to be used, but Bandai never made use of it. So not put on these cards makes no difference, to be honest. But for this lead, you are Android 17 on the front side, and you flip over and become Android 17 and 18, so you can both brother and sister. So on the front side, pretty basic like starter decks. When it's attacking, draw 1 card. When your life's at 4 or less, draw 1 card, flip over. So you go from Android 17 to Android 20. And yeah, same thing. It still keeps the when attacking, draw a card. But then it is unique. The siblings' unique skill is a permanent, where during your turn, if you have 6 or more energy, this card gets 10k power. So during your turn, you're basically a 30k lead, which is pretty good, pretty nice, especially since green is the ramp color. You can get your energy a lot quicker and wait until turn 6 to get that boost. You can use cards like the Destructive Strength from the Star deck and the Turtles to ramp your energy a bit quicker. There might even be more ramp cards in the sets we've seen. I think we've seen a Goku, or we might see a Goku that ramps. And as more ramp cards come out, you could go ahead and get to turn 6 quicker and make sure your leaders then swing for 30k. As we see with the Vegeta, just basically boosting to go for a 20k lead to a 35k lead, like for free, is really, really strong because you're getting that free boost, and that requires like a super combo out combo at the bare minimum for any attack. That's just 1 leader attack. We can see that this is going to be a very good skill to be carrying a 30k lead. It's only on your turn, but that's not too bad. Because imagine 30k defensively, that'd be pretty obscene, but still pretty good. And as we've seen so far, they're quite basic for starter deck leaders, and it's still quite nice. Like, it's still a very good leader, and as long as you can ramp to turn 6 early, you can get that boost to be more aggressive and put a bit more force into your swings. Then we go to the Everyone, and the Everyone is a Gohan league, because I've said it's during the the Android Cell Saga. So the Ever lead is a Gohan. So instead of like a Piccolo or anything to go the androids, it's like kind of Gohan. So it's got one from the early stages of the androids being from the early stages of the Android Cell Saga, and then Gohan being from like the end of the Android Cell Saga. So it's quite interesting. But yep, same as the Android 17. Base front side is pretty basic. 50k lead. When attacking, draw 1, and when awakening at 4 or less life by drawing your card flipping over. And now Gohan, just like with the Android, And like many of the other leads as well, your 20k at when attacks draws a card, but his unique skill is an activate battle, which is once per turn where you place one of your energy and drop as a cost, and this card gains 15k power for the battle. So it means you can just sack off an energy to get a free 15k boost for the battle. It could be defensively or offensively. So this is kind of like the Vegeta, but it's not really for free. It's you have to lose something, like you have to cost you have to sack off an energy, which isn't too bad because if you ramp, you can always get to a point when you don't need to worry. Like a lot of my games when I was playing with Frieza, I tried at the 6 energy and stop because I could pay 5 for my SR and leave 1 energy for like a battle trick extra card. And you can kind of do the same with this, where you can just get to a certain point of amount of energy, make use of it, and then when defensively, you can just go sack off the energy to get sack off of the rest of the energy to get a boost, and next turn charge back up if you need to be, or just not worry. Like this is not a negative losing energy, especially since you can ramp, and just sacking off energy that's been used to get a free 50k boost is really good because then you can get like a leave it, and you put us to figure out like when they're attacking, when's he going to use it, is he going to use it, things like that. So a pretty good lead. Not sure there's going to be much benefit like out of the kind of like types of leaders. Just more comes down to leaders like their effects. And so far, both the green leaders are pretty decent compared to what is masters. Because in masters, there's like a whole Joker thing about the green leaders being very bad because they aren't great. Like they've only just started getting better, but not really getting better. Like the color's been getting better, but it's kind of like really lacking from like a good generic lead, like more good generic leads. And it's only so far got one very competitive lead, and the other ones are decent but not as competitive as like you want to, as they could be. But that's the green leaders. Then we go to the last 2 leaders being for the yellow ones, and the yellow one seems to be from the Frieza Saga. So for the first one, we've got Ginu for the Frieza Saga. So I'm hyped for this because I'm a massive Ginu fan. Like Ginu is my favorite character. So to have Ginu as a leader in the first set, we had the same thing with Masters. Ginu was in the first leader, like a leader in the first set, and I loved him. That was my first leader playing Ginu and the Ginu Force, and I look forward to this. We've only seen really so far one Ginu, but Ginu Force card. But we get this once we see a few more, we see how beneficial this lead is because this lead's a little bit different. So on the front side, it starts off pretty basic. 15k, one attack control, 1 card, but its awaken is a little different. It's still when you light at 4 or less, you can awaken, but it's when you light at 4 or less, you switch up to one of your energy to active mode, then flip over. So you don't draw a card, you untap an energy, which is so far no other leader does currently. Every other leader it draws a card, or like Broly ramps a card from their life to the ramps a card from their life to their energy. Whereas this is the first leader to actually untap an energy, which if you've played Dragon Ball like Dragon Ball Super Card Game Masters, this is a really good effect. Getting more energy means you can make more plays, and this could be really good. But then we need to see more of it. And then when it flips over, you're still once again like the other ones. You're a 20k leader. You still have the 1 attack and draw 1, but his unique skill is quite cool because it's an activate main once per turn by paying 3 energy. So 3 quite costly, but then we haven't read the rest of it. Just the cost is paying 3 energy and discarding 2 cards from your hand. Now it seems costly. Tapping 3 and discarding 2 cards, pretty costly. What's the effect? Well, the effect is choose all of your battle cards with Ginyu Force and their special traits and switch in active mode. So it means if you can build up a big board of Ginyu Force, you can swing with them all, then use the effect to lead, pay 3, discard 2 cards that might be dead or not useful, and then restand them all to attack again with it. So giving all your board basically dual attack, if it's for every Ginyu, well, every single Ginyu Force on your board like dual attack, is pretty nice. And we've already seen one of them, which is not too bad. So depending what the rest of them is, this leader could be very, very good. And I look forward to seeing the rest of them because I'm gonna play this no matter what. And I am hyped for it. Like it looks like a pretty cool leader. First one on tap energy as well. And yeah, I'm already excited. So that's that one. And the last leader we have is Cooler. So we get Cooler in the first set, like I think in Master we got in the second set. But yeah, like so it's only green that doesn't have a critical leader. A leader that has crit on the front side, because Cooler is the same as Goku Black and Beerus, and that is doesn't draw. It's 15k with critical, permanent on your turn, gets 5k power, so you push it through that crit, and not like it's not as easy to combo out than if it was 15k. And Awaken is just 4 less, draw 1, flip over, so pretty similar as the other ones. But on his Awakened side, it's pretty good. It's 20k once again. Still has the attack and draw a card, but his unique skill is activate main / battle. So it can either be in your turn or even during your opponent's turn. It's once per turn, and the cost is to discard a card from your hand. So during any player's turn, once per turn, by discarding a card from your hand, you can choose up to one of your battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less, and Freezer Planet special trait, or one of your energies which is in active mode. So I've seen people already scream Golden Freezer at this, as it is similar to Golden Freezer, just a little bit different how it plays. At Golden Freezer was you sacrifice one of your Freezer army cards, battle cards on the board, to then draw one and untap an energy, whereas this is just discarding cards, untap an energy, or restand a Freezer clan. So you can give one of your 4 or less Freezer clans on your board dual attack by basically being able to restand it, attack again, or even on your opponent's third block with it. If it survives, restand it to then block again, or give yourself an extra energy on your opponent's turn or your turn, which is quite nice. Normally you're going to probably be choosing either to untap an energy or restand a battle card on your opponent's turn, depending what you need. If you got like a battle trick or you want to block again with something, then you can restand something. But that's quite nice. Like a really good leader. Like all these leaders so far are pretty nice, and some of them they get better depending on whatever cards come in the set. But so far they're all pretty good leaders for a first set. Like I'm excited for the set. I was gonna just get into one deck when the physical version came out, and then play on digital as much as I can. But it's looking so far like with how fun it is from just a little bit of playing. I'm tempted to finally play a few more. But yeah, definitely like eyeing up Ginu for my first one, and maybe with the Star Freezer depending what comes in the set. So that's all the leaders. We also have some other cards from the set that aren't the leaders, so a few other cards we'll have a look at now. So first of all, we have our first SR and our first alternative art. So this is the SR Goku. So it's a free drop, 25k power, 0 combo cost. So because it's quite, like it's on par, like it's power compared to its cost is on par, and it's got very good effect. So of course it's gonna have no combo power because it's got good like power to cost ratio and a very good effect. So it's gonna not have any combo power. Like whereas if it didn't have an effect, well, if it didn't have a very good effect, it would potentially be 5k. Or if it didn't have a great effect and not great power, it might be at a 10k. But considering like it's got a very good skill and power, no combo power, so it's not as great in the hand. But then you're gonna be playing them out because it's so good. And its on plays add up to 1 card from your left to your hand, so never card to help you awaken, take your life to kill. So you can awaken as soon as possible to get on your bigger side and start gaining advantage, more cards, cards still, or maybe even cards out like now, like Beerus for example. But then also gain a beneficial effects. And then the other part of the effect is then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 20k power or less to kill it. So it's a nice bit of removal. Like I would have thought that it'd be more reduced power stuff, like maybe reduce something by 20k. But then now it's about KOing 20k or less. 20k is quite decent. It's a good thing, especially if you're going against like the caller we've seen. That's like the floodgate, which is cool. So good bit of removal, taking life as well, and good power to cost ratio is quite nice. And on the left side we've got the just normal SR, and on the right side we've got the alternative art. So I don't know why it's got R2 on the side of it there, like next to the color, where it says like R for red. No, it's R2 because we've got some that say Y1, like for yellow 1 and stuff like that, and green and G1 for green 1. So not sure it's got R2 because it's in the first set, so that's gonna be interesting to know why it's got that R2 next to the R. And this is and on the left, no sorry, the right, we've got the alternative art, and you can tell if it's an alternative art or not, but because if it's a just SR, like on the left one, you can just see just under the set code, it's just got SR. But if it's an alternative art, it's got the star next to it, as you can see in the right side one. So that's pretty nice. Apparently, like they did show a picture, I think they are textured, which is quite nice. And yeah, hopefully they're more like the One Piece alternative arts than they are the SPRs for Dragon Ball, because I think that's where they're kind of going for like most of the stuff like One Piece, but it still plays like a Dragon Ball Super game. So that's the SR and alternative art. Now we got some other cards that were released this week. So we've got some red cards. We've got a Kale and a Freezer. So we've got a Kale to go with the Khalifa we saw the other week, and it's a free drop 20k, 10k combo, and when attacking once per turn, if you have a Khalifa battle card with a cost of 5, switch this card to active mode. So you can get free swings at that Khalifa Kale combo by playing out Khalifa for 5, playing out Kale, swing with Kale, and then resetting it to get 2 swings. So that way you can get a 25k from the Khalifa and 20k swings from the Kale, which is not too bad for 5 energy. Not the best, but like compared to what some other ones do, but that's still pretty good. That's still really good. And then the freeze is just a typical free cost skillless 10k combo, 25k power. Nothing more to say about that. Nothing more to say about skillless. Like they've always got a good, like they've always got 10k combo, and then like the power good, like the power at the best you can get for the cost. So that's the two red cards, and we got the two blue cards being the Goku Black and a Trunks. So we've got already sight of the Goku Black being a 4-cost skillless. So if you bottom deck a Zamasu, so play it at one drop skillless Zamasu, swing with it, bottom deck it to reduce the cost. You can then play it as 4-cost Goku Black as a 30k skillless out for 2 energy. So paying a 30k for 2 energy is pretty decent, and it's just a typical skillless where it's also got 10k combo. And we got the Trunks here. So this is a 2-cost 15k with 10k combo, and it's a blocker. So just standard, can block and attack, and an on play, allowing you to take a card from your life to your hand on play, which helps you awakening. Not too bad, pretty decent. And yeah, more blockers for the colours would be helpful, just give them more options. Because so far, Vegeta side decks, red doesn't have one, I don't think, and then blue and green both have one. And green can at least recycle there, where blue can't. And then yellow's the one with a load of blockers, because it's all about resetting those battle cards. So not too bad for these two cards. Not amazing, but not too bad. Then we got another blue one, which is pretty decent, and also we got a green one in Goku. So we got a 1-drop Pilaf, which is a 5k power, a 10k combo, and a nice little on-play effect, which kind of ties in with the starter deck, being if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, that seems to be like one of the aspects of blue now. It's that you need to have a certain amount of cards in hand to trigger some effects. So if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, you can add up to one card with a cost of 1 or less, and Earthling in special trade from your drop to your hand. So that's quite nice. You get to recycle things like block it. You get to recycle itself, being recycle more P-Last from your drop. So you can recycle, add one back, and then just come off. So you can kind of like permanently like cycle 10k combo for 1 energy. And you can also recycle things like cantrips, like the Trunks. You can cycle blockers like Shu and Bulma. So you've got some pretty good targets to keep, and it's a really nice bit of cycling. But it's only 5k power, so against red, it might have some effects that can just minus it, just get off the board. But then you can always just use it straight away to combo off, so it's not there to just be lost. Then the Goku, we got a 2-cost 15k with 10k combo, and his effect is just permanent. Your turn, if you have a Son Gohan childhood in your drop, this card gets 10k power. So that's only during your turn, so defensively it's 15k, but during your turn for 2 energy, you're playing a 25k, which is pretty good. Normally you have to pay 3 energy for a 25k, and normally it's a skillless, so that's pretty good, and it's very easy to get a Gohan skills in your drop, just combo off. So that's not too bad. And yeah, like I said, it's got these weird ones where you got like U1 next to the U on Pilaf and G1 next to the green on Goku. So that's quite it's interesting why he's got that, but like the SR and the SPR have R2. So hopefully that gets explained. Otherwise, it's a bit odd why it's there, because I would have thought that'd be for maybe next set, but I think that's what the one next to the color code and rarity is for, like which set or not set, I can't remember what the word for it is now. Block maybe it's for. So but that's those two. Let's get on to the next one, the evergreen one. So we've got an evergreen card being just a 1-drop skillless Vegeta. So we're getting a fair few skillless just shown out early, which isn't anything to much. They're just cards that have the best power to their cost, and then 10k combo. So we have a Vegeta here. Like, the only relevant thing is like what their cost is in character, which is 1-drop skillless Vegeta. And then for a yellow card we have I think it's Chew or Fui. I think he says Fui, but it might be a different character, or it might be Chew. I'm not really not sure how to say it, but I just call it Chui. This is a 2-cost 10k with 10k combo, who's a blocker, and also has like 1k with a bit effect, which is choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, which is the rest mode. So it's a nice thing, just block, attack, and then rest of your opponent's battle cards. But then opponent can always get around it if they got one battle card, swing the battle card first. If you block it, you're not going to rest anything, and then swing with the lead and stuff after that. So I can make good use of it. Then we got the other two cards we've got is another two cards we have in Dodoria and Berta. So we've got a 1-drop Dodoria. That's a 10k and 10k combo, and it has permanent where if you have Frieza and Zarbon on your battle area, you gain 10k power. So you got to get any Frieza, any Zarbon, which we've already seen like this good Zarbon in the There's a good Zarbon that is a searcher, and a good Zarbon in the starter deck that is a blocker. And there's a fair few Freezers, like there's one that taps one. You've got big boss cards Freezers, so quite easy to get Freezer. So get those two in the battle area, and this can come down as a 1-cost 20k battle card. and it's just permanent, just not during your turn or anything like you've seen some other skills. Just when you have those two in the battle area, this is permanently a 1 cost 20k, which is not too good. Well, not too bad for combo to cost, because combo to cost it's 5k more than the skillless, but you've got to have certain conditions to reach it, and it's still a 10k combo as well. And we see the first Ginu force being Berta, being just a skillless 2 cost, being 20k with 10k combo. So we've already seen the first one. And then for the last cards, we've got 2 extra cards, being a red extra card and a green one. So we've got Time Skip for red, being a 3 cost. I think this is a version of when we had Masters, but in the one in Masters, it was a 4 cost, and wasn't that great. It was a pretty terrible card, but in Fusion, we're considering that it's quite simplistic, a lot more simplistic than Masters, and there's not much removal. It's a pretty good one. You use free energy, activate main, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, that add it to a total power of 35k or less, and KO them. And considering red is the color that reduces the power and stuff, you can reduce the power and stuff to make it so you can hit more things. So if you say you've got 220, if you've got your opponent's got 220ks and a 5k, you can say with Beerus minus one of the 20ks per 10k. Now you've got your opponent's got a 10k, a 20k, and a 5k, and you can hit all those for free energy with this. So considering red is the color that gets to reduce power, you can reduce the power or something, and then be able to hit more things with this as well. And this hits quite good. This is free energy. For free energy, you remove your opponent's 5-drop boss card, and you like KO it. Is very good, considering that the only ever really color's got a good way to get it. Well, green's got a pay an ink drop that pops it, but you all get the energy to do that. And then blue's got a 1-drop like extra card that can be paid for 1, but you've got the discard card in hand. You got to draw into it, discard card in hand, so then bottom deck is still draw into it potentially and get it back. Whereas this is just straight out for energy, KO a 5-drop boss card from the starter decks and stuff. And then you got the I-Beam for green, being a 1 cost extra card, being activate main, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards with cost 1 or less to KO them. So this is decent, where you can get rid of low your opponent's cantrips, considering cantrips are only like 5k or not that as amazing, considering nice free 10k combos and stuff like that. Cantrips are good, but normally going to be used to defend yourself, like from like some swings. So and you pay energy, having this just hit like specifically 1 cost targets where like it's only going to hit cantrips, and later on in the game you're going to put bigger stuff. It's not going to be great. It hits 2 of them, but it's not like you can choose up to 2 cards on your opponent's board up to the cost of 2 and KO them. It's just specifically choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards with cost of 1 and KO them, which is not as great. So this is not a great card, I don't think, but this Time Skip is a pretty good one. And that is it for this week. So that's all the views. We finally got all the leaders. It's better to see the leaders first to see what kind of like the expectation is for what cards are going to come out in each color and what they're going to be focused on. You can see like what kind of sagas are going to be used on, even though they have on the card. And yeah, it looks pretty good so far. Like I played a few games, played in the Lookout event, which the gameplay will be out next week of my matches. And yeah, this game, even though it's quite simplistic, and a lot of people are like annoyed by it because Bandai is releasing this new simplistic kind of game and kind of still dropping the ball with Masters, and it's made a lot of Masters players really unhappy and annoyed because this guy given a pattern that normally Bandai just drop a game and release a new version of it, which is how like Masters came about in the first place. But I'm still hyped to play both versions. I can still play Masters until Bandai discontinue it and stop supporting it, and even then I'll still play Masters like with fun formats after, because it's still a fun game. But I'll still be playing Fusion World because it's a Dragon Ball game. I'm in it for the IP, and I just love Dragon Ball. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.